Hi, I'm Kenny Anderson, Director of Multicultural Affairs for the City of Huntsville, and welcome to Impact. Each week we bring you information about exciting things that are happening right here in this community, and today will be no different. One of my favorite times of year occurs during the month of December. And as most of you may be thinking, Christmas, I'm thinking Christmas too, but I'm also thinking what happens just after Christmas from December 26th to January 1st, and that's Kwanzaa. Today we're going to be talking with a very special guest who is going to share information about that particular celebration, as well as an important community-wide celebration that's being planned with you in mind. Charles Creech is a retired pastor and also the co-founder of the Life Changing Enrichment Center. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Kenny. Very happy to be here today.
It's good to have you here, and it's good to be able to talk about this exciting time of year, as I said, the opportunity to share Kwanzaa with the community, to empower people, to engage people, and to enrich people around the values that are represented through this celebration. You, of course, are a long-time celebrator as it relates to Kwanzaa. You and your wife, in fact, have spent many years in the local community doing this, and not this local community necessarily, but my office and your organization recently partnered to actually bring Kwanzaa back to our community so that we have a big celebration planned for December 26th. But tell me just a little bit, first of all, about the Life Changing Enrichment Center.
Well, the Life Changing Enrichment Center was envisioned by my wife and I because we saw in the community that there are a lot of young people, older people as well, who have problems in relating to situations that happen in their life, such as having children too young. A lot of mothers have unwed mothers, and also life skills. They need those type of things, and also smoking and drinking and drug addiction. In our organization, we try to address all of those on some level to improve our community. And then also we are involved in the cultural competency of skills, developing people so that they can be able to relate to each other culturally no matter where they're from. And we find that this brings us together so we can accomplish more.
Yeah, so I hear in that a lot of quality of life issues, as well as some personal growth and development types of things from a cultural context, which of course excites me just from the perspective of my own interests, as well as the work that I do through the Office of Multicultural Affairs. As I said, we both have roots from New York, long roots in New York. Yeah. You pastored in that community for many years, and as a pastor, you actually co-coordinated some Kwanzaa celebrations. Tell me a little bit about those experiences.
Oh, that is correct. We were at a church there in Brooklyn, New York, and we had individuals who were there were from other cultures who had never experienced Kwanzaa at all, and we would bring them together in our home. We'd have something like about 25 or 30 individuals, and they had such a wonderful time, and to be able to see, to acquaint them with African American culture, and also to uplift the culture in which they were in as well.
The one thing that I really like personally about Kwanzaa, which was founded by Maulana Karenga many, many years ago in the 1960s, I believe it was 66, out in California. We actually had Dr. Karenga come to Huntsville back in 1997 as part of the Family Strengthening Conference that I used to do. Oh, okay. And we're very honored to have him here and have him speak at that time. Mm-hmm. Dr. Karenga's focus on this particular celebration was not so much a holiday, as some people often call Kwanzaa the Black holiday. It's not that. It's a celebration and affirmation of the values that are upheld by African cultures, and from a historical perspective, from a legacy perspective, but also values that are shared from the perspective of humanity. Can you talk a little bit about some of those values?
Well, Dr. Maulana Karenga, he actually wanted to develop a community responsibility and to develop the people in terms of commerce and self-improvement. And it's a celebration that's not defined or confined to any culture group, because we find people of all races that can be involved in it. And so we talk about the Nguzo Saba. Those are 7 principles that if they're practiced, they can help to improve a person personally and also collectively as a community. And we can talk more about those later and define each one.
Yeah, well, I want to do that right now, because I know that, again, I'm excited about Kwanzaa. I've celebrated Kwanzaa for many years. I promoted it.
Right.
The first principle is umoja. Umoja means unity.
Yes.
And unity is something that everybody should be seeking for. It's one of those things that when we think about the common ground that we stand on as humans, it's an important focus of our lives that we find some way to be unified and not so divided.
Yes. It's talking about not only unity in the family and unity in the community. And then there's another one called Kujichagulia,
It's one of my
which
favorites.
is self-determination.
That's right.
And this is, in other words, other people will not make decisions for us or define us or who we are. And then the next one is Ujima, and this calls for collective work and collective responsibility. In other words, when someone in the community starts a business, then we support that individual. And then if there's a work to be done, well, we all join in together.
And Ujama
is cooperative economics, which is the bringing together our money. All of us, you know, the dollar is very powerful.
Yeah.
And when we look at the how much money is in the community, we're talking billions of dollars. And so we need to cooperate, because that is where our mutual strength is.
Yeah.
Then another principle is called Nia, purpose. That is to encourage us to look within ourselves and set our personal goals that will benefit not just us alone individually, but the whole world. Kuamba, that means creativity, is to give us as much as we can in the way that we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and our homes more better than they were when we came in. And that's a principle that myself and my wife, we really do that. Every place we've ever rented, every church we ever pastored, we always left them in much better condition than when we found them.
Yeah.
Then the last but not least, to do all of this, you have to have imani, or faith. And that faith is to believe in all our heart, with our people, believe in our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and we must believe in the righteousness of the struggle in which we're engaged.
Yeah.
And those are the 7 principles.
Those are very powerful principles, and again, they emanate from our understanding of the legacy of African American culture, some things that were erased by some other aspects of history, including the slave trade and the Middle Passage, that tried to almost annihilate these kinds of values. These things were not discovered by other people. These things were entrenched in African culture, and Dr. Karenga tried to revive this sense of responsibility and accountability to these values through Kwanzaa. Now, we, of course, as I said, have partnered with your organization, Life Changing Enrichment Center, to do a Kwanzaa event. We did our first one last year. It was on the day after Christmas, which is the first day of Kwanzaa, and we're planning to do that again this year. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the program that we had last year, we had something like about 75 or 80 people to come, and we thought that was great, you know, for the first time.
That's right.
And we anticipate that we're going to have many more people this year. We're going to have something for the children to be involved in. And Kwanzaa is so unique. It's not about trying to get a lot. It's about creating with the children. We want to give them maybe something that's going to enhance them mentally. It's going to enhance them spiritually or socially. And these are the things that we will be doing when the children come. We have projects for them. Incidentally, when a person gets involved in Kwanzaa, one of the side benefits is that they learn a different language too. and that language is Swahili. They learn a little bit more about that. And we find out that Swahili is actually spoken by more than 50 to 100 million people over in Africa. And it's a good language to learn. That's one of our mother languages.
And of course, that is the words we were using earlier with Umoja and Kujichagulia and Ujima, Ujamaa, Nia, Imani, all come from the Swahili tradition.
Swahili, yes.
So that's exciting as well. The 2017 event is going to take place on December the 26th at the Richard Shower Center. It will kick off at 6 o'clock p.m. It will end at 8 o'clock p.m. We're looking forward to a very exciting event. Yes. And I want you to stress something that oftentimes people miss in this process. You indicated this earlier, but I want to make sure people didn't miss it. The principles of this celebration come from African tradition, but it could be celebrated by all.
Yes.
So this is an invitation to the community to come together, to acknowledge these values, to support one another, and to really kind of set the stage as we end one year and anticipate the beginning of a new year, to really kind of put people on the right foot. So speak to people out there that might be wondering, is this something I should be a part of?
Well, I think that it is something that you should be a part of, because first of all, Kwanzaa is not a substitute for Christmas. Neither is it a religious program. It's neither one of those. And what we need to take in consideration today in the highly charged atmosphere with innuendo that's going on, and the type of racial, what you might say, slurs and so on that's happening in our world today, that a generation or two over the last 50 years have actually sort of like not embraced these principles. And so our effort is to bring our young people back, especially the generation now and the generation coming, bringing them back to the basics so that we can understand how to counteract racism and self-development and advancement in those areas. So
once again, the big 2017 Kwanzaa event takes place on December the 26th, 2017 at the Richard Shower Center, which is located on
Blue Springs Road.
Blue Springs Road. Thank you for bailing me out there. It's located on Blue Springs Road, and people can come out from 6 to 8. It is absolutely free of charge.
Free of charge.
Family friendly.
Yes.
Kid friendly. And community friendly.
And inspirational.
And inspirational. So there's something for everybody.
There's going to be music. There's going to be dancing.
That's right.
And drums.
And food.
And food. Don't forget that. Yes, there's going to be food.
That's right. So we want to come out and just celebrate and have a great time. We want people to have a wonderful time for Christmas and all that that represents. But also, let's not overlook Kwanzaa, which takes place from, again, December 26th through January the 1st.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Charles Creech, thank you for being here with us.
See you there.
Today. I'm going to be there.
Okay.
And I want to see you there.
All right.
That's right. You and you and you. I want to see all of you there. Yeah. Come on out and be a part of this great celebration. We hope that you'll be able to spend some time with us from 6 to 8 p.m. on December the 26th in partnership, once again, the Office of Multicultural Affairs with the Life Enrichment Center is hopefully going to be able to do this event one more time and do it in a way that we hope will be magnificent and powerful for each and every one of you that come out and just want to feel the inspiration that comes from bringing the community together. We hope that you enjoyed the show that you just watched, and we hope that you will spend some time sharing that information on our Facebook page, which is Impact with Kenny Anderson, where you can also see some shots of what happens once the camera stops rolling. For Impact, I'm Kenny Anderson. Have a great day.